Hi guys, it's Heather, the Butterfly Effect plant-based weight loss, and today is Wednesday, and that makes it Weigh-In Wednesday, and that's the day that I come on here and I make a video and I talk about what's going on in my life and what's going on with my weight. And of course, I have a lot on my mind because tomorrow is Thanksgiving. Um, but I'm going to start out with my weight. So I told you guys yesterday I was having problems with my tooth. Um, Rascally number 12 tooth is acting up, and I got an infection, and so that affected me for a while. And what it did was it made me switch from my sequencing, which I was great about, to not sequencing. So what I mean by that is sequencing is when you eat the least calorically dense food first. For me, that's greens. I eat greens in the morning. I eat my giant salad. In fact, here is my giant salad for today. Can you guys see that? See? So that's got cabbage and so today was cabbage, beets, carrots, some kale, some mushrooms, some flax seeds, and some vinegar. Sorry, that's Fuzz growling. Fuzz, no growl. Anyway, so I'll eat that in the morning. That's my least calorically dense meal. And then I have that also for lunch, but I'll mix in, I'll have, if I have starch, I have it later in the day. I might, sometimes I put hummus in my salad. Today I don't have hummus in it. Usually I do have beans of some kind in there, but I don't today. Anyway, so what happened when my jaw was hurting and I couldn't really chew was that I would have, I was eating like soups and stews and chilies and things like that that were soft. And so that was raising the caloric density of the food that I had. And I wasn't getting enough greens. I really think that I was getting, I did add greens to like my lentil soup and things like that so that I would get more greens. And all I did was I made my lentil soup like normal. And then I put in a whole bag of cruciferous crunch so that I could get those dark leafy greens. I always try to get the dark leafy greens like kale, spinach, nori, the seaweed. I like to get that in, or broccoli, because all of these are high in the thiacaloids, which I consider to be like almost medicine. I think of my greens early in the day as being medicine. And if I'm really having cravings for sugar, I will also use a green powder like Marcus Wild Greens or Vitamineral Green by Health Force. And putting some of that in your water helps you get even more of those thiacaloids. Thiacaloids have been shown in studies or thylakoids. I always say it wrong, but anyway, whatever they are, they have been proven in some double-blind studies to cut people's cravings for sugar by like 80%. And I found it really helpful since I started doing that. So if you are, struggling with cravings and that is one of your main problems, you might want to try having some kind of greens in the morning, so that you can get that hit, and all through the day. You don't have to limit it till the morning. So that's what was going on with me, and it actually made me go up 2 pounds, which I was so surprised at because I didn't feel like I was eating very much. I definitely was not overeating. I was just eating starch and without my greens, and because of that, it was more calories. It's just straightforward. I also had lowered I was barely walking. I just was in so much pain that my step count went horribly down. So those two things made me go up 2 pounds. Then last week I took off one of the pounds, And this week I took off the other pound. So it puts me back at 189 where I started before all that. So, um, but it makes me feel good that I did lose a pound a week the last 2 weeks. So, yay for that. And so let's talk about Thanksgiving and different ways that people approach it. There's two problems with Thanksgiving, and that as far as the eating goes, I'm going to focus on the gratitude part of it tomorrow, okay? But as far as the eating, the two problems that people have are eating off plan or overeating, okay? So I know for myself, I'm absolutely 100% committed to not eating off plan. For me, that means no animal products and no sofas, which is sugar, oil, flour, alcohol, and I'm going to keep my salt really low. And I'm absolutely committed to that. Tomorrow is no different than any other day. I know that if I eat those things, it will not make me happy because I will just want more of those things. It won't satisfy me. Even if I enjoy it for the, very short couple minutes it's going to take to eat it, it's going to put me back in the pleasure trap and I'm going to suffer trying to get out of that. And I have a really hard time getting out of the pleasure trap. My brain is really sensitive to these hyperpalatable foods that, if you think about, aren't even really food. They're so refined. It takes 16 inches of sugar cane to make a teaspoon of sugar. It takes 46 olives to make a tablespoon of olive oil, and it has no nutrient. They're all very devoid of nutrients, and they have lots of calories. But more importantly, for me, they're like a ticket to you know where, because I'm if I start, I can't stop. Um, or I might not be able, what if you feel like, well, I'm pretty sure I could stop. I'm the kind of person that could stop, but what if you couldn't, Like last year around this time, I thought I could stop. And then it was bad. I went up 90 pounds before I went back down. So I'm never taking that chance again. I know, never say never, but I'm never taking that chance again. So for me, going off plan is not an option. That's not happening. The other problem that people run into, even who are healthy eaters, is just overeating. Okay, because there's an abundance of food. We're used to eating one dish that is a yummy dish. Like I would have red lentil chili over a potato, or I would have Mrs. Plant in Texas. Amy Johnson has the most awesome Pueblan pepper soup that has red peppers in it and sweet potatoes and beans, and it's yummy. So I would have, one serving of any of those yummy things. Now, my menu tomorrow is a corn squash with a wild rice and apple and celery and onion um, stuffing. And we're going to have shepherd's pie. And that'll have, all kinds of veggies and lentils, and it'll be topped with mashed potatoes, and it'll have gravy in it. And we're going to have an apple cranberry uh, crumble, and that's gonna be sweetened with dates. Not too many, but a little bit of dates. Um, I'm making pumpkin muffins for breakfast. You get the idea. We're gonna have Brussels sprouts. I'm trying to think. I can't even think of all the things I'm making. Oh, sweet potatoes, of course, right? So all of these things, I would never have all of that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a lot. That's a feast. That's the whole idea of Thanksgiving. But it does lead to overeating. So this is what my strategy is going to be, is I'm just going to take a little bit of each of those things. And then I'm going to make a second plate, and I'm going to put a little bit of each of those things on it. Again, And then I'm going to put that in the refrigerator for the next day. Because I think that's one of the reasons that I personally overeat is I'm afraid whatever is my favorite is going to get all eaten up and then I'm not going to have the chance to have it again, and so I better get my fill. It's leftover thinking from when I used to be a binge eater, and I don't choose to engage in that behavior anymore. I haven't had a binge in a really long time, and I really want to guard against that kind of thinking. And so that's really what I want everybody to focus on. Um, if you're a plant-based eater, or if you're trying to um, eat healthfully, or even if, weight isn't a concern for you, overeating's not good for us, right? It makes you tired, especially if you're eating any high-fat foods. Takes away your energy. It's not good for your digestion. It's not good for your sleep. So try really hard to avoid overeating. You might want to do what I'm going to do. I call it one and done. I'm going to have one plate. I'm going to enjoy it very much, and then I'm going to be done. And the rest of the day, I'm going to eat lighter. For instance, like today, I'm having my giant salad. This is not a one, by the way. So some of you guys are like, I could never eat that much for one meal. Neither can I. Neither can I. This is probably either 3 meals of salad, but I'll have some salad. I'll have it first thing in the morning. I'll have it as when I eat breakfast type of thing, um, and then I'll have more at lunch, and then at dinner I'll also have some before I have whatever starch I'm gonna have. So I don't want to give the impression that I eat this much all the time, and I might not finish it. That's another thing that I focused on is this is I think a big this was a big aha for me. I used to eat until I felt full. Now I eat until I don't feel hungry anymore. And I know that that's a small distinction, but for me it's a really important one, because when I ate until I felt full, I definitely ate more than I'm eating now, and I'm still happy and satisfied. So I was getting more calories than I needed, and that's because I was eating more than I needed. So now I eat until, and I try to stay very focused and very mindful while I'm eating, and I'm like, I'm not really hungry anymore. I know this tastes good. I'll put it away for a little while, and if I want more later, I'll have more later. Because, it's that abundance mindset that there's always going to be more salad. There's always going to be more of whatever yummy thing. And so, if that helps you, that's another takeaway that I hope you get from this video is don't eat until you're stuffed at all. Try not to even eat until you're full. Just eat till you're not hungry anymore. And then ask yourself, do I really need some more food? And if you do, eat it, guiltlessly, with pleasure. Like, we were given taste buds for a reason. Whole natural food tastes delicious. Um, you know, um, and last thing I want to talk about is not feeling deprived when you see other people eating things that you choose not to eat anymore. Okay? So this used to be a big problem for me. It isn't anymore. And I just want to tell you that there's hope that way, as far as your thinking will probably evolve the longer you are on a whole food plant-based diet. The longer you're on it, the less you will want that other stuff. And I didn't believe it for a long time. I didn't. I didn't buy into that, but I don't pine for it anymore, and I definitely did. So if you're in that stage, there's no shame in the game, like, if anything, you're more courageous, you're more awesome because you're really wanting that stuff and you're not having it. So, yay for you. Don't ever, please be compassionate with yourself. Um, but to my amazement, I'm back to where I don't even want it. And I kind of feel sorry for people who can't keep from having it. Does that make sense? I was at a pizza restaurant the other day because I had forgotten my salad and I was far from home and I needed a salad bar, and there was like a pizza buffet place that had a salad bar. It was kind of a crummy salad bar. But I was in there and I just kind of felt sorry for the people eating the pizza, especially because this was like a buffet situation and they were going back for more and more and more. And a lot of them, had weight problems. And I just related to it really strongly. And I thought, but for the grace of God, go I could so easily still be back there if I didn't know the truth. I'm so happy that I know that that stuff is poison, that, it's like adding sticky, gummy gunk like comes out of your drain. It's like applying that to the inside of your arteries, and it just hurts people so much, and they are addicted. They're where at least I felt like I was a slave to that kind of stuff back then, and now I'm free and I'm no longer a slave and I'm no longer stuck in that pleasure trap. And so I'm just grateful for that, and I'm so grateful that whole natural food tastes delicious. I mean, look at the colors of my salad. I hope I do not dump salad everywhere. Please do not dump your salad. But look at those colors. Isn't that beautiful? It's green, but it's also like red from my beets and orange from my carrots, and it smells so good right now. Our food is beautiful and it's good for us, and our food is medicine. Every time I eat, I am giving myself medicine and nutrients, and I'm making my body out of like the very best stuff on earth. Um, and so just focus, if you can, on that, and not on, remember that you could eat that stuff if you want to. You just choose not to. I don't say like I can't have XYZ anymore. I say I choose not to have that because I only eat food. I don't eat poison. I only eat food. So here's to being thankful for our beautiful natural food. And I love you guys. I hope you have a very blessed Thanksgiving tomorrow, with people you love, and try to remember, stay on the path, stay on the plan. Don't take your plan for granted. Don't take all this hard work that you've already done for granted. Don't wreck it with one meal. And remember that you don't need to eat everything all at once. You can have one and done. Have one beautiful plate full of deliciousness, and then make another plate, put it aside for later so you'll have tomorrow's wonderful dinner already ready, and just enjoy it. Just enjoy it without the tummy ache and without the regret. And just focus on the people, focus on all the things that you're grateful for, and let that be your day. All right, I love you guys, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.